Hello everyone, this is Marisa from LORE, L-O-R-E, Legendary Ohio Research and Exploration. We explore local phenomena, historical artifacts, what's happened on the lands prior to man settling in, uh, cryptozoological activity, occult paranormal activities, secret societies, you name it, we look into it. It is the heart of it all right here in Licking County. Here we are at Horns Hill. Strange little sights to be seen up here. This is a marker that says here was buried a patriarch of a prehistoric people. Now it's in a trapezoidal shape, which of course brings in spiritual activity. Where the stone on top of it comes from, who can say? Uh, when they dug into this, we're not entirely sure. There was a period of time in the earlier 2000s when this park was closed, and we are figuring this is when they put this in. We are currently investigating when this monument went up and whom presided over the dedication, if such an event did indeed take place. That being said, my questions to those who put this up: how do you know enough of what you know to put this information on this plaque? Here was is past tense, so that denotes that whatever was laying here is not buried here anymore. That tells me, that infers that something has been removed, exhumed, taken away. So that's a particularly interesting choice of language. Here's my baby daddy Rod pointing out the monument. So where did they take it? Did it go off to top men, to the Smithsonian, to some other university, to the Vatican? Who knows? We don't know. If I had to guess, this was a set of giant Nephilim bones, giant Raphaim bones, whatever you want to call them, but giants nonetheless that lived here and terrorized the Native Americans that were here many, many years ago. I also wonder where they get the authority to put patriarch of a prehistoric people. That denotes a leader, a king, a chieftain. What kind of artifacts were found with whatever remains here that denotes that sort of entitlement of being called a patriarch of a prehistoric people? Those are questions we are looking into as LORE. And to tell you a little more about what's going on here, his thoughts on the subject, Rod Spielman. Rod, take it away, dude.
Well, as you can see here, this monument has obviously been placed as a marker that shows that there were indeed giants here before the Native Americans or anyone else. As far as we can tell, maybe it was during biblical times, maybe not. But we know for a fact by this marker that it indicates that a giant, a chief of some sort, was indeed found here. Now on the other side of the monument tells that's not facing the public when they come up here on this hill. It is also hollow. I found out by knocking on it. You might have seen me knocking on it. It's hollow. Now I don't know if that means that there's bones in fact inside there, or if they were carted off to the Smithsonian. But here we have a marker clearly telling people who the Mound Builder people was. And there's powers that be that don't want you to know the truth. And that's what we're here to do, is show you in plain sight, right before your eyes, the truth. Knock on it and show that it's hollow. Whenever you're ready, let me.
Here we are walking around to the other side of the monument. Look at this tower that goes way, way up there. This building is labeled surveillance. It's always locked. I never see a vehicle or a body stirring or moving around here. But one has to wonder, what are we surveying? How are we surveying it? And what else might we do with these weapons grade pieces of equipment on this here tower? But like Richie from Boston says, I digress. So let us make our way around to the other side here, it says this monument was originally dedicated in November 1933 to preserve the burial site of a mound builder of an ancient culture. Mayor Charles P. Martin restored and rededicated this day, October 6, 2009. Mayor Bob DeBold. Well then, a significant fact about 1933 is that is the year the Civilian Conservation Corps came to this part of the world and dug up the Newark earthworks, found God knows what, and shipped off God knows what to God knows where, most likely the Smithsonian. So that tells me right here that the Civilian Conservation Corps were up in here digging things up too, and we need to look more into that. We need to look up who Mayor Charles P. Martin was and what his thoughts of this was. And we may have to track down Mayor Bob DeBold if he's still mayor or former mayor. We'll find out. We'll see if he was here for this dedication and what his official word is on this as well. And for more commentary, here's Jack Van Impe. Rod. Here you go.
How you doing? Okay, as you can see, if any of you know your shapes, you know what shape this is, right?
Yes, we said it was a trapezoid already.
Right. And what I found while walking around this monument is I came over here and I knocked, as you do. You can hear where it's solid, and you come here. You can hear that. That tells you there's a hollow chamber in there. Like I said, it could just be the frame that they have, that they put all the mortar and the stones on, or there could be proof or evidence inside here. We don't know. We're not going to tear it up to find out. But obviously, this tells you exactly who was here in Ohio. And it wasn't Native Americans. I, being Native American myself, from the Shawnee bloodline of Tecumseh, can tell you that these giants caused a lot of problems for the Native American people. So, when you're told about the boogeyman, what are Bigfoots? We'll get into that later on in lore. But this may be some of the ancestors, hybrids, whatever you want to call them. But they were indeed here. And what you were told and what you were taught was not the truth. It's all been covered up. And this is further proof of that cover-up. Why do you think this plaque is on this side of the monument away from the view of the public? Because they don't want you to know. And how many people really care about whether or not this is here? Most people come to a park to play. But little do they know that under these grounds lie the bones of giants all over Ohio. In fact, this was the meeting ground. Ohio, if you do your history and look, was the meeting ground of giants. There were many giants here. It's been documented through, I can't remember his name, but he has a book out, 222 Giants, the Nephilim in Ohio. That's a great book, and it tells you just how many were found here. This is huge. This goes back to Egypt. This goes back to the beginning of everything. This is proof fact that what the Bible says is true. And here it is.